Hello, I am Third Family. My name is Eric Huster. I'm the Assistant Director for I Am Third Sports. We hope that you guys had a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year. We are definitely excited and looking forward to this upcoming basketball season. And we hope that during this presentation, you feel comfortable staying with us and playing within our league during this crazy time that we're in with this pandemic and COVID. We just hope that we can just provide an outlet for you and your family during this time. Let's go ahead and get on into the presentation. About I Am Third, our mission is to provide the most complete and unparalleled youth sports experience. We try to think of different things, different ways of doing things, just to provide just such a fun and cohesive environment and program for everybody that's involved. In addition, we definitely provide that faith background within our program, faith focus. That is a strong mission altogether for us. Our staff, if you want to meet us, I'm going to introduce each one a little bit, but if you want to go further into who we are and what we do outside of I Am Third, or why we work at I Am Third, you can follow that link that we have on there. Our head director is Jeremy Hobbs. Our basketball director, which most of you'll hear from and see around on game days, is Ches Marks. And then our final lead staff person with I Am Third is Michael Lippert. If you played in our soccer program or been a part of our soccer camps, he is the one that's been leading that. So that is our staff along with me. Our organization, we provide several different sports offerings, from soccer to basketball leagues to tennis, horseback riding lessons / camps. And then we offer camps sprinkled in throughout the year, mainly taking place within the summer time frame. Our leagues, you'll see throughout, we offer devotions. And how do we incorporate them into our league? Devotions are one of the most important aspects of our league. We develop our own story programs that is broken down each week into spiritual snippets that are relatable not only for the youngest of ages, but also for older age groups as well. So you'll see that. That'll be a big implementation for our leagues. And if you played with us in the past, you've seen that as well. We're excited to offer this season a picture day offering. We're working out some of the details on that. But if you played in our past 3v3 league or fall soccer, due to COVID, you saw us not offer that. But we're hoping this year that we can offer a safe environment for teams to create memories. So you'll see that. The plan is to offer that the first week or so in February, but we will have more details to come on that. Now, some things to know. League Apps Management, that is our software that we use for our main communication. That's how we create rosters. That's how we publish schedules, and how we just communicate to everybody as a league. So please familiarize yourself. If you registered for a league, you probably created an account online. Make sure you log into that account, get yourself familiar. You should be able to see your team. Eventually, you'll be able to see your schedule and so on. So make sure you get yourself familiar. We do have our own app. You can do the same with that on our app. You can get that in the Apple App Store or in the Google Play Store. So it's available on both platforms. It's just a red I Am Third symbol. You should be able to see that and download that pretty easy. On to our sponsorships and partnerships. We'll discuss a little bit how we use the money, but our presenting sponsor this year is White Greer Maggard Orthodontics. They have been a great partner with us. We are so thankful to have their sponsorship and be a partner with them. They have been instrumental into our league and just being a part of everything that we kind of do. And we're just super thankful for them. They've been a blessing to our league. Along with them is Centenary. Couldn't run our basketball program without them. We utilize their gyms heavily during our basketball programs and over our summer camps. So definitely thankful for them and their partnership. And then Junior NBA, we've been able to partner with them, and you saw if you played in our 3v3 league how involved they were with our 3v3 league this past season. We use the money that comes in not only for jerseys, but a wide variety of things, to providing water jugs, to banners, to increase signage, to even game day meals for our staff. You see a lot of that, and that money is utilized throughout our league, but also some of that money goes towards helping keep costs down for our league as a whole, and anybody that is registering for our league. It helps keep that league fee a little bit more manageable. So definitely appreciate any type of sponsorship money that comes through to help others out. If you own a business or you know somebody interested in becoming a sponsor, we'd love to have a conversation with you. You heard a lot of different ways that we use the money and can help promote your business as well. So we'd love to just discuss with you and see a different way on being involved in our program, but also helping your business out at the same time. On to our new calendar alignment. This is post-COVID. If you had been in our soccer league in the fall, you got introduced to our new calendar. However, during COVID and how things have kind of changed throughout the past 4 or 5 months, we've had to realign our calendar a little bit. So you kind of see what it looks like currently. From mid-August to end of October of last year, we had our fall soccer program. From early November to right before Christmas, we had our 3v3 winter basketball league. And now currently, this coming weekend, our winter indoor soccer league will be taking place from this weekend till about mid-February. Which is super exciting. And then what our current season is, our winter basketball league, will run from mid-January to end of March. So kind of a big stretch, as you can kind of see, but we're definitely excited to offer that. And then finally, we'll be offering a spring soccer season, which will stretch from mid-March to the end of May. So that is kind of our calendar year before we re-up come over the summer. On to our communication plan. We have several social media platforms that we offer. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We love to use those social media platforms to announce registration, to post pictures of our league, to just provide just updates on the league happenings, the organization happenings. So great place to follow us to keep up to date on everything that we're doing. You can also go onto our website just to kind of see literally everything that we do. Feel free to just maneuver around our website and reach out to us if you have any questions. For basketball specific questions, you can email us at basketball@lexchurch.com. That can range from anywhere from what's my player's team name to when is picture day happening, what's that information look like, to what's the end of season plan look like. So you got a lot of different ways that you can just reach out to us, and we'll definitely make sure we connect with you. Make sure you do sign up for our communications, whether it's through Basketball Lex Church saying, hey, can you put us on this email list, to just registering for our league app software. So when we send out league information, you're getting it. We do a lot of our communication through that. And as you can see, things can change quickly. So we want to keep you up to date. And the best way of doing that is making sure you sign up for our email list or league apps. On to our basketball program as a whole. We want to make sure our youth sports is fun and affordable for all. That is why, we have sponsorships. We offer, financial assistance for those that need it. You can just reach out to us and ask how you can be a part of that program as well. Our league this year, we're going to have over 500 players, along with 100 volunteers and over 70 teams. For those of you that may have participated in the past winter leagues that we've had, you may see that number has dipped a little bit. This is just a locally, state, and nationally thing that's going on. Most programs are seeing over a 50 to 60% dip in their participation. We are fortunate enough that we're really only seeing probably about 25 to 30% dip. So we're still, doing very well even during a time of uncertainty. And we're just happy to provide an opportunity for our community to just break away from this craziness, even for a couple hours a week. We are one of 15 cities nationwide to have a junior NBA partnership. For those that were in our 3v3 league, you saw that, and we're excited to kind of further that partnership into our winter basketball league, to camps, to any other program that revolves around basketball as well. For this season, we'll be having a 5v5, 4v4 league. If you're in our K through second, most of those games will take place 4v4 cross court. That is why we have that. And then we also offer a 3v3 league that just finished up this past December. Some off-site partnerships. We have partnered with Faith United Community Church over off Brandon Crossing, and Crossroad Baptist Church, which is right next to Southland Christian Church off of Harrodsburg Road. So some teams may be practicing there too. You may see I Am Third set up there. That's going to be us, and we're excited to partner with those churches. Some league structure as a whole. So you'll notice that we have age-appropriate emphasis. Most of our divisions are just one grade division. However, due to registration, sometimes those grade divisions get combined. So what that means is we try to keep it kindergarten, first, second, all individual. However, if registration doesn't show that, we will combine it in an age-appropriate way. So some leagues may look like K through first, some leagues may look like second through third, but we try our best not to go more than just two grade divisions in one division. We do a max number of players on a roster. What that means is more playing time for your child. Most rosters will look like about 8 and maybe 9 players. There are some rosters that have 10 players. That is due to coaches or just teams that have been together since the kindergarten league and on up that still want to stay together. So most of the teams will be around the 8 to 9, allowing players to play more time. But some of these teams will have that 10 mark. We do focus our league on spiritual growth and positive environment. That is what our devotion is about, is spiritual growth. On the other hand, a positive environment, that is where we're really encouraging coaches, spectators, and players to have a positive outlook, encourage other teammates. We'll provide video examples for our coaches to help our players grow in a positive environment as well. So definitely excited and definitely happy to offer that to our league. You see here, what's the difference between instructional, developmental, and advanced? most of our younger age divisions, which is K through second, is instructional based. That means from our referees, coaches, league officials to even our parents. We're all instructing, trying to help these kids understand the game of basketball, why you can't run around with the ball and not dribble, to why can't you hit, a kid's arm when they're shooting, explaining all those different things to the kids, helping them learn and instructing during that time. When you get into the older age groups, this could look like in the second grade, but mainly in our third through sixth grade divisions, it is more 50-50 between instructional and developmental. Developmental means is the foundation has already been laid of the basics of dribbling, basics of shooting, basics of rebounding. And now we're developing those kids into better basketball players. So enhancing their ability just a little bit more, from the just foundational basic parts. So that is kind of our third through sixth grade divisions. And compared to the advanced is just taking them to that just full on next level, really getting intense with basketball, practicing more than once a week, and getting that intense training. We don't really offer that. Our main focus is in that instructional and developmental area. However, what we do try to do is find other programs that can help match that kid's growth and love for basketball. We definitely want to provide that outlet for them, and we do our best to try to find that. Finally, we do modify our rules for specific age divisions. So you will see that as you read through the rules, you'll see the breakdown in minutes played per quarter to what is being called strictly and what's not. So you'll see that in our younger age groups as they progress throughout our league, that rules become stricter and stricter. Finally, talking about our staff, you will notice when you come not only to game days, but also to practice nights, we'll have plenty of staff around. So on game day specifically, we'll have referees, the scorekeepers, court managers, and sanitizing assistants. Referees and scorekeepers will keep our games running on time and the flow of everything. Our court managers are there to make sure that, once again, games are running well. They are there to answer any questions outside of the actual gameplay that are taking place. They're just making sure that we have everybody there in the right mindset and the right focus of encouraging our players and really letting spectators to coaches to players understand what I Am Third is all about. So you'll notice them around our gyms, and our sanitizing assistants will be there to help with our COVID protocols that we'll discuss a little bit later in this presentation. At the end of the day, our whole goal is to keep everyone safe. And so that is why we've beefed up our staffing to make sure that we can provide that safe environment for everybody. All right, on to our game schedule. As you can see, our date to release the game schedule will be January 15th. It could come sooner, but that is our goal, is to get it out by that time. As you can see above, game schedules for our K through first. They'll play 5 games throughout the season. All those games will take place on Saturdays. Our second through sixth grade divisions will play 6 games plus a bowl game. All games will take place on January 23rd through 24th. So you be on the lookout for that. Game times will take place all at Centenary. And games that take place on Saturday will be within that 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now, when I'm talking about just on Saturday, there may be a potential that games may be played on Sunday or throughout the week. Let me explain a little bit. If you are in the second through sixth grade division, the first weekend you will probably be playing a doubleheader weekend. Not back to back, but you'll be playing 2 games that weekend. In that case, you may have a few games or a game on Sunday. In the other case, if for some reason our local, state, national officials call for postponement or something of our programs, we may have to push the league back a week or two. In that case, you may see us kind of similar if you were in our 3v3 league, play games either during the week or on a Sunday. So that would be the only case that may happen. Our hope is that doesn't happen and that we can keep our same schedule throughout the whole season. If you are in our younger division, K through second, most of those games will take place in the morning or early afternoons. Our older divisions, third through sixth, will play late mornings, but mainly probably throughout the afternoon into the evening time frame. You do see a bullet point there about KHSA basketball. We are not governed by KHSA basketball. We don't have to follow by their rules or standards. However, we do monitor them, and we will monitor their decisions throughout the season. And their decisions will help influence our decisions. They won't make our final decisions, but we will definitely take into account what they decide to do throughout this time. So just wanted to kind of be a little bit more open on that side of things so you know how we're deciding on our decisions moving forward with our program. Now, on to our COVID protocols. I'm sure most of you all here want to hear what we're doing. We believe that our COVID protocols, especially through our soccer and our 3v3 seasons, have worked. And so we believe that we have a great plan moving forward through our 5v5 Winter Basketball League. So our top priority is to keep participants and families safe. Returning to the court and continuing a successful 21 season is everybody's goal. And our commitment as a staff is to provide a safe environment for all families. Our staff has taken guidance not only from our Centenary leadership staff here at the church, but we've also researched many protocols. We've sought guidance from local and state official medical professionals. And utilize the Healthy at Works guidelines. And furthermore, we've consulted with other youth organizations within our region, but outside of our state as well, to see what they're doing. And like I said in the previous slide, we will be monitoring KHSA's decisions as well. So we take all that into account to provide a safe plan for everybody. Now, all players and parents, volunteers to referees are required to self-administer temperature screening at home before they come into any programming with us. If you have over 104 temperature or other COVID symptoms, please make sure you just refrain from coming. We built protocols and guidelines if a player or coach tests positive as well. So we'll dig more into that into our next slides here. People identified as exposed or close contact are those who spent at least 15 minutes within 6 feet of the case while the case was infectious. The infectious period starts 2 days before symptoms onset and 2 days before the case was tested if they had no symptoms. Now, diving in a little bit deeper, our staff was able to put together a plan so we can offer a full 7 or more week winter basketball 4v4, 5v5 season with minor adjustments. So you'll see that throughout. The COVID health crisis is continuing to cause disruption to our daily lives. Our church staff and sports staff are committed to keep everyone's physical health at a top priority. We believe we have a responsibility to provide hope by being good stewards of the resources God has given us, such as our gymnasiums, to just the facilities that we're using, to the equipment, to having everybody within our program. So that's the range that we're just wanting to be good stewards of. Through, like I said, through our summer camps, fall sports, we have firm evidence that our protocols are safe and follow the mandatory guidelines of our local government. Parents and coaches and players will play an important role in our season. We must follow these rules set forth or run the risk of shutting down. So please do your best to follow the guidelines that we present to you today. Of course, there's always risk within any type of league or anything that you do. There are risks in everything we do. So if you don't feel safe, then feel free to just sit out this season and join us in future seasons. We aren't going to hold you to registering by today, that you have to stay with us this whole season. If you feel uncomfortable, that's okay. We will give you a period of time to ask for a refund, and you'll hear about that later in this presentation. Now, if you're a parent or player, here are some responsibilities for yourself. Before training, make sure you do temperature checks and withhold if needed. Be honest about your physical conditions. Always err on the side of caution. Keep your child and family healthy, and then help us keep our league safe and healthy. If you or anyone in your family has exhibited COVID symptoms within the past 10 days, they should stay at home. Wash your hands thoroughly. Bring and use the hand sanitizers. We'll also have hand sanitizer stations throughout our facilities that we practice and utilize. You'll have to bring your own equipment and own water bottle. Our water fountains will not be available for use. We recommend limited or no carpooling amongst players. And spectators and parents are required to wear masks at all times, entering, watching, and leaving the facility. For the players, masks are required upon entry, but do not have to wear them during active play. So just know that. During training, do not touch or share anyone's equipment, water, snack bag, anything. Place bags and equipment at location designated by your coach. We'll get into what coach's responsibilities are here shortly. Follow your coach's directions on social distancing. Do not assist with the coach with equipment before or after training. Allow the coach to take care of everything. And then there'll be no group celebrations, high fives, hugs during or after the game. After training, make sure you wash hands thoroughly. Sanitize all your equipment at home before the next use. Ensure child's clothing also is washed. Any communications with the coach must be via email or telephone. Coach responsibility, very similar to parent and player. However, they'll have to wear a mask all the time, such as similar to a parent. The main difference between this is coaches will have to make sure that they are spacing everything out correctly when it comes to devotional, to players placing their bags not side by side each other, spacing that out a little bit more. And they'll just be helping us monitor all that and try to keep everything socially distant. So coaches, very similar to the slide before, you just have a little extra responsibility in the sense of making sure everybody's maintaining those physically distance protocols. On to our current implementation and strategies. All players must sign our COVID waiver and agree to the policies we implemented. You should have done that during registration. Sanitizer stations will replace our water stations throughout the facility. Everyone who enters must have temperature checked and answered their health questionnaire. Anyone with a temperature of 100.4 or greater will not be permitted to enter into our facilities. So they will be temperature checked upon entry every time. We will be replacing post-game handshakes with post-game clapping to honor your opponent and show great sportsmanship. Pre-game devotionals will be done by a team only basis. What that means is your team and your coach will lead your devotion. In past seasons, we've allowed both teams to come together. In this situation, we're asking teams to do it individually before the game starts. Pre-game devotions, we kind of went over that just a second ago. Coaches must follow the same screening protocols as players. I Am Third will be providing game balls and warm-up balls before practices and games. Masks are required for spectators, coaches, and non-active players. Should always be worn at all times. If you're an active player or if an official is officiating, they will not have to be wearing a mask or a face covering at that point in time. We do have some protocols for our officials in the sense of any dead ball situations such as halftime, timeouts, etc. They will be wearing a mask. But during game time, refs will not have to unless they're in the kindergarten through second grade divisions, where kind of like I discussed earlier, they're doing more instructional based. In that case, they will be wearing masks a lot more frequently. We are a sports ministry, not a police agency, so we will not be policing the mask. We will not tolerate any confrontations pertaining to this. We will encourage it. We will see it. If we see it's an issue, we will, have somebody stop by. But like I said, once again, we are not going to police it like we've done similar stuff in the past seasons. Some considerations that we've taken into place. We've staggered some practice times to limit the number of people inside the gym. Staggering some game times as well. Within the building, you will see different entry points for different gyms, so that will prevent some crowding. We may get into that a little bit more later. And then all equipment will be provided by us. Potentially to help with the crowding side of things, like I discussed in our scheduling earlier, some games will potentially take place on Sundays, but we're going to try to get everything done on Saturdays. We are going to limit practice days to one parent only or guardian per player. For game days, we have been able to open that up to two parents and players. Two parents or guardians per player. And we'll pass that information along as we get closer to the game days. We'll be fully staffed to keep things on time and sanitized, like we discussed earlier. We do have additional game sites to help space things out if needed. And those with health condition or high-risk persons should avoid game days. Just whatever the CDC has been recommending that are have health conditions or at high risk for COVID. We just ask that you stay at home during our game days. We won't have any concessions, but we do have vending machines available if anybody is hungry. Bowl games versus playoffs. This is something that we've gone back and forth on, but during this season, we'll probably err on the side of caution and do more bowl games rather than playoffs to prevent any type of entering, leaving our facility, and coming back with multiple touch points of potential COVID things. So just know that. So beyond opposing teams and officials, the player will be asked if they have been in close contact. This is some things to know if a player tests positive or a coach. So kind of walking through this, you must notify us as a league. We have that email up there for you. Beyond opposing teams and officials, the player will be asked that they have been in close contact with anyone else on your team or in the league. Each team and coach shall be required to self-quarantine 10 to 14 days from the day of exposure. This includes all members of the player's household. So this would mean siblings on other teams would be in quarantine as well. The league will notify other teams if needed if they have been exposed to the person with a positive test. They must follow the same protocols of 10 to 14 days. Upon completion of the 10 to 14 days, participants are able to return to play. Games might be missed during this time and will be rescheduled as needed. Now, if a player or coach has been exposed to a household member with a positive test, you must notify us. You must remove your child from practices and games immediately as a precaution. All teams potentially exposed to this scenario will temporarily be put in quarantine. Once the child or coach were to receive a negative test, all other players or persons outside of the household may return to practice/programming. However, the exposed child or coach must remain in quarantine for the 10 to 14 day period. That means the person that tested positive has to stay 10 to 14 days. Those around them, such as a brother or sister that didn't test positive, may return to action once a negative test has been received. Now, if a household member or parent has been exposed or receives a positive test, very similar, you must notify us, must remove your child from games and practices immediately. All teams potentially exposed to this scenario will be temporarily put on quarantine. If the child were to receive a negative test, all parties can return to practice and or games. The exposed child or household member must remain in quarantine for the 10 to 14 day period. Finally, getting into the back half of our presentation, nearing the end here, want to provide you an update on our 21 refund policy. If you are not comfortable with moving forward with this season, you are entitled to a full refund. So to receive a full refund, you must contact us by no later than January 10th at midnight. Send us an email letting us know that you just don't feel comfortable moving forward in the season. You want to wait later on. We'll be happy to administer that full refund to you. After this date, you may withdraw, but there will be no refund. So it is a hard date. So take it under consideration through this weekend and then notify us by midnight on January 10th. Without, I guess, kind of going through anything else more specifically, that is the end of our presentation today. So once again, we thank you for choosing I Am Third, and we really hope that we can provide a positive and fun experience for you and your family during this time. Once again, if you have any questions or concerns, email us at basketball@lexchurch.com. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you on the courts here shortly within the next few weeks. Hope you have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you soon.